Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our live Q&A. So today's webinar is going to be about how to do your leave transactions and your bonuses with the council. So we're going to do MIBFA, MIBCO, and road freight, as they are the most common ones. And we're going to start with MIBFA, which is the lesser one from the others. So we're going to start with them. So please, if you can hear me, just give me a hands up. If you cannot, please just tell me. If you have any questions, please click on that question mark icon, send it through to me, and I will attend to it. Please just bear with me while I'm going to have a bit of a 5 to 10 minutes just to answer all the questions. I will give you a chance to send all your questions, and I will then attend to them. So I'm just going to give a bit of a few seconds just so that everybody can join us. And then I see a few show of hands. Thank you so much for telling me that you can hear me. I'm very pleased about that. So we're just going to give a few minutes so that everybody can join us, and then we will start with our MIBFA company, and we will work through the leave and the bonus processing. So we're not going to waste any more time. I feel like everybody that needs to be here is here. So again, welcome to everybody. If you have any questions, click on that question mark icon, send it through to me, and I will attend to it. I'm going to go a bit slower than when I just introduced myself, so that everybody is just on board. Please let me know if you think I'm going too fast. Please let me know if you are lost or anything like that, so that we can just attend to that as well. Okay, so the first thing that we need to establish is that when we are on our MIBFA, so we're going to start again on our MIBFA company. So some of the things that you need to know is that there's some of the things that you need to just check on your company itself. So the first thing is we're going to go to setup, and we're going to go to transactions. So this applies to all councils, not just MIBFA, to all councils. So the first thing is we're going to go to 0001, and we're going to say do not use BCA leave for leave taken. So that must be ticked. Otherwise, it's not going to pull through your correct amounts on the income tab. So that's the first checkbox that you need to check. The second one is when you go to edit employee master file and you navigate to the rates tab, the hourly paid must be ticked. Again, this is for most of the councils, if not all. And then the last but not the least that you have to check is if you go into the payslip of this employee, there needs to be either code 5008 or 5009, which is your shifts. So please make sure that all three of those things are always correct. The hourly paid, there's no BCA leave taken, and then also the shifts. If you feel like your shifts are incorrect, you can correct them by doing a year-to-date correction. There is a nice knowledge base guide on that. If you want me to share it, I will do so a bit later on, but we're not going to focus on that today. We're only going to focus on how to process your leave and how to process your bonus. So on this employee, you will see at the bottom I have some of my MIBFA Industrial Council transaction codes. I have my sick pay, I have my council, I have my metal. Each and every of those are correct. And now I'm going to put this person in leave. So please also be advised that I am on a monthly paid employee. At the bottom, I'm already in my 31st of the 12th, 2021. So I'm already in December. So we can just continue on processing my leave. So I'm going to navigate to the leave tab, and I'm going to add the code 001. When adding this code, you must just then add the days that is going to be taken, and I'm going to add the days. So this person, I'm going to say, is going on leave from the 1st of December up until the 16th or 17th of December. So then my amount will be 12 days, and you will see the paid amount will be 8,306 Rand and 41 cents. When I go to my income tab, you will see automatically that a code M777 MIBFA annual leave pay has automatically calculated as 7,631, as well as my hourly paid leave holiday pay of 692. So this is when you have processed everything correctly, your shifts are correctly, your hours processed are correctly, then this code will automatically be added onto the income tab. So you can save that, and then you have your normal MIBFA annual leave for this employee. So sometimes it can be that it's not automatically added, or leave is not processed in Pastel Payroll, and you want to maybe process it differently. You want to maybe process it manually and then add the code. You are more than welcome to do so if you feel comfortable with it and you do not have this option in Pastel Payroll. You can then add the code M007, and then you can just add your leave pay. There is a very big, just getting on the word, there's the calculation is quite, if you are, like I said, comfortable or familiar with it, you are more than welcome to do so. We do have a calculation on our guides. I will share that with you if you want to do this manually. Please just make sure that you know what you're doing. If you're not comfortable with it, please get assistance from a tax practitioner or one of our business partners. Okay, so that is leave for MIBFA in a nutshell. Please tell me if I'm going too fast or if you're stuck somewhere, and then we will just take it from there. Okay, so I'm going to just show you how to on the MIBFA as well, just a bit of the bonus as well. So bonus on MIBFA will automatically calculate, so we will just navigate to the next available line, add transaction code M008, and then you will automatically have an amount there. This is usually also to do with your shifts. So this calculation usually is your weekly pay rate multiplied by the numbers of weeks, and then you will multiply it by the percentage, and then also with the shifts work and the 234 as per the councils. Please, I will share this with you. Let me just do this. Let me just show you how this calculation looks like so that you're not... Okay, so this is how the calculation of the bonus looks like. If you are working on 5 days a week, then that will be the calculation of M008. If you want to double check yourself, then you can do so by doing this little calculation, and then obviously also working 6 days a week, there's also that calculation. Okay, so I'm just going to give a few minutes time to, if you have any questions about the MIBFA Council, how to process the leave, how to process the bonus, maybe calculations that I can send through to you, please quickly click on that question mark icon, send it through to me, and I will attend to it before we start with our MIBCO leave and bonus transactions, because these two are quite quick. They are, if you have processed it correctly, it is quite quick. But if not, then you might have to do manual calculations. But the road freight actually is the more complicated one. So if you do have road freight, please just bear with me. So we will get to those as well. So please, any questions about leave, bonuses, MIBFA at this stage, please send it through to me and I will quickly attend to it. Okay. Hi everybody, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for waiting for me. There was quite a few questions. There are quite a few still just lingering, so please just bear with me. I'm just quickly going to do, because the MIBCO is almost the same as the MIBFA, so let's just quickly go through the MIBCO as well. Then I will just give a bit of a 10 to 15 minutes time for the questions, and then we will just proceed with the road freight for the rest of the session, because like I said, the road freight is quite hectic if you have the road freight, but if you view it and if you listen, it won't be that horrible. Okay, so let's just start with our MIBCO. So MIBCO is a bit different. I'm just quickly going to go to the MIBCO company. Okay, thank you so much for your patience. Okay, we are now in our MIBCO company and we are going to go through the MIBCO of how to process the leave. So there's two ways of processing the leave. So the first one is when the leave days are processed in Pastel Payroll itself. So this will also be, again, going to process payslips, navigating to the employee that you want to put on leave. And I'm going to do this employee. This is my MIBCO employee. We're going to go to the leave tab and I'm going to process 0001. Also going to put this employee on leave from the 1st of December up until the 17th. Automatically will give me days taken, and again we will give me the amount of 11,1075.22. When I navigate to my income tab, automatically you will see that there is a code I555, my MIBCO annual leave pay, and that would be the 11,075. So this will happen again if you do have on your default tab the 5009 or 5008. If it's a monthly paid employee, then you have it under Edit Employee Master File. You will have the hourly paid employee ticked. For weekly paid employees, it is not necessary to go into the rates tab, as this will say salary paid and weekly paid employees are usually paid hourly. So this is not applicable to weekly paid employees, and this is just for monthly paid employees. Okay, and then the third one is also to go to Setup, Transactions. Under 0001, do not use BCA for leave taken. It is critical that you do tick that, otherwise it's going to just give you BCA leave taken and not the code of the MIBCO or MIBFA that you need to see. So this is quite simple. It is when you process the leave in Pastel Payroll. If you do not process the leave in Pastel Payroll and you are doing this manually on your side, you are more than welcome to go into your process payslips. Please remember that I'm only showing you these two codes. You can use either or, you cannot use both. So this 5013 will always be there if there is a public holiday. If there's not, this will not show. However, the I555 and the I005 will then be, you cannot use both of them. So you need to either use the automatically the one that is processed automatically, or you're going to process it manually, giving the quantity and the rate. Again, we do have a formula for this. So for the calculation for I005, it is working days on leave multiplied by the daily rate plus the average daily commission. And we also show you how to work out your average daily commission if you're not aware of how to do that. But you will still be able to see this. Let me show you how this calculation looks like. Again, it is on our knowledge base if you want to go view it. If you want me to send it through to you, just send me your email address and I will send the guides to you. So this is how the calculation looks for I005. You will see it's the working days on leave multiplied by the daily rate plus the average daily commission. And then this is just how you can calculate your average daily commission. Okay, so again, this is on our knowledge base. Please send me your email address. Just tell me email address, a MIBCO or MIBFA leave or calculation, just so that I know that I can send it through to you if you're not familiar with our knowledge base. But it is quite nice to have the knowledge base. It is, you can just navigate to help and knowledge base. and you will have this screen. You can navigate to Sage Pastel Payroll, and for example, you can put in MIBCO Leave, and then you will see the MIBCO Leave days processed in payroll or not processed in payroll. And if you scroll down, you will see that there is the calculations that you need. So it is quite simple to navigate to the knowledge base. We also do have Sage City Posts, which you can also access. So all of that you can do as well. Okay, so let's go to our bonuses for the MIBCO company. So again, we do have this one. Unfortunately, you will need to just get the bonus from the council. So there are two. There's the MIBCO bonus. The council pays the employees. So if the company pays the employees, you will then use code I007. So again, you will get this amount from your council. Just make sure that you are inputting the correct one if the company is paying the employee, because this code will only affect the pay-as-you-earn UIF and STL, because I'm sorry, this is when the council pays the employee. So obviously it just needs to be added onto the pay-as-you-earn UIF and STL, because the council is paying the employee directly from their bank account, so it will not have an effect on the gross income. The reason for this is, again, because it's coming directly from the council, and it only needs to be deducted from your UIF, pay-as-you-earn, and STL. So, and the second one is if the company pays the employees. So if the company pays the employees, then it means that the gross income must go up, because you need to add this amount, because obviously this person needs to be paid, and it will be I002. So you cannot, again, this is also an either or situation. You can either use the code I007, which is the council paying the employees. It will only affect the pay-as-you-earn, STL, and UIF. It will not affect the gross income. Whereas if the company pays the employee, then it will be code I002, and it will then increase the total income, pay-as-you-earn, UIF, and STL. So please, again, either or, not both of them. Otherwise, it's just going to duplicate the pay-as-you-earn, UIF, and STL. Okay. So this is our MIBCO, the leave, as well as the bonuses. So if you have any questions in regards to this, kindly click on that question mark icon, send it through to me, and I will attend to it. Please just bear with me. There are quite a few questions. I am still here. I apologize. We cannot open up conversation so that you can speak to me, because unfortunately this webinar is just specifically for me to speak and for you to hear. So just bear with me with this, please. Again, everybody, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for just waiting a bit. Again, there are quite a few questions coming through. This is the problem with councils and leave. There's so many things that you want to ask and so many things that you do not know, and it only happens once a year, and sometimes you're only taken over payroll just now, or and all of a sudden this is just thrown onto your plate. So thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for just hanging on there. So in this regard, we're going to go to our little road freight company, and we're going to start with this. So please bear in mind that this will be a lot of information at this stage, but again, there's so many guides on our knowledge base that can just guide you through this. But for now, I'm just going to show you how it looks like so that you just have a little bit of a picture on how to process your road freight. Okay, just waiting for that legislation to come through. So in this scenario, you will see that my company is a bit, it doesn't have a lot because unfortunately I only prepped it for a month's time so that we can just see how it works. But you will get the idea because at least there is an amount on it and we can work from there. Not sure why it's delaying so much. I think I'm just being a bit impatient. There we go. Yay. Okay, so now we're going to move forward and we're going to start with our road freight, and we're going to start with the first one, which is usually our leave. And this is the leave pay that is paid by the council to the employees. So directly from the council to the employees, you will use the following. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is, again, we all know that we need to go set up transactions and make sure that we do have that BCA leave ticked so that we do not conflict it. And then the other thing is when we go to process payslips, you need to have processed throughout the year the code R110, which is Leave Pay Fund Road Freight. If this has not been processed, you will not have an accurate amount, and that can lead to problems. Okay, so that needed to be done during the course of the year. So the first thing that we will do, the third already, so we're going to go to View Payroll Reports, and we're going to navigate to the monthly analysis, and I'm going to show all my employees. I'm going to select only my road freight employees, and I'm going to select OK. So on my filter screen, I'm going to print it to screen at this stage. You can print it to printer, PDF, Excel, whatever is best for you. From transactions should be R110, and to transactions should be R110. Number of months, you will choose the period that you're in. So I'm already in my month, in my 10th period, which is my December period, and I'm going to show details. So I'm going to select OK. And then you will see, oh, okay, this is why I said yours are going to go from March up until December. So you will have a total on here. So my total, I'm just going to make a note of it, is 1,308.10. Okay, so great. We have now what we need, and now we can close this down. Again, this is when the council pays their employees. So we're going to create a new transaction, which is this transaction will not affect, does not affect the code for a taxable. So we're going to create a code that does not affect the code for the taxable code, if that makes sense to you. Okay, then we're going to just the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm going to link it to the additional pay, which is a regular tax amount. But it should not affect the payslip. Sorry, that is what it means, that it doesn't affect the taxable. So it's not affecting the income. So the reason why we're doing this is because there are two types of doing this R110. So the first one is if an employee, for example, my employee on the R110 was 1,308 Rand. But the council's telling me, no, this employee should actually have 2,000 Rand. So there's a difference in between my R110 and the council itself. That is why we are creating this additional pay, because it needs to be implemented in the payroll. So let's do the first one. Let's say, okay, the council says it's supposed to be 2,000. I only have R110, which is 1,308 Rand. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to say the R513 will then be the amount that the council said, And then on code R520, there will be nothing because the council is more than what is on my R110. So if there's on my, so again, R110 is less than what the council is saying, we will only process R513. Okay, I hope we all have that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to navigate to my employee and I'm going to add the code R513. And I'm going to add, you will see it says leave pay, so NBCRFI, the road freight. So this will be the exact amount what the road freight will pay this employee. So in my case, this was 2,000 Rand from the road freight, but because my R110 was less, wait, let me just not confuse. Yes. So because, okay, I do apologize. I'm confusing myself and you as well. So if it's less, then you will add the amount on 2,000 and the, sorry, just hold for me, just so that I can just get my bearings on. Yes, sorry, I'm right. So that's why I'm saying you must please, if you have road freight, please sit in a quiet area and just concentrate. So if it is less, so let's say for example, the council paid 2,000, but the R110 is less than what is paid on the R110. Then you need to add the additional amount on code R520. Just get that R520. And then you will add it on this additional. So you can either use this code directly as it is, or you can then go and add it onto. Okay, apologies. Let's start again because I'm just losing this all over. Okay, let's start again. Okay, we're going to view payroll report. I don't want to confuse you. And I'm going to show all employees, and I'm going to go to this person, and I'm going to just use the R110. Okay, so we're looking at the R110. This company is telling me that this employee has to have leave pay of 1,308.10 cents. I've made a note of this. So because this is the council paying the employees, you cannot have a taxable amount. You cannot have an additional pay that will affect the pay slip because the council is already paying this. So it should not be added onto your gross net pay. So we're going to do the following. We're going to go and create a new transaction code. And we're going to name this transaction code. I already have 1,000, so I'm just going to go for 3,500, and I'm going to link it to the code R520. So the reason I'm doing this is because the council is paying the employees, so it's not going directly to the company, it's going directly to the employees. So this needs to be done. You can give it the exact same name, or you can just say don't affect. So we can do additional pay, don't affect. Again, the reason why I'm doing this is so that this does not affect the payslip itself, because again, the council is paying the employees. And I'm going to untick this affect payslip and say save. Okay, once I've done that, I'm going to go to process payslips. I'm going to navigate to my road freight employee, and I'm going to add the code R513. So R513 will always be the amount that the council pays. So in this case, the council paid these employees 2,000 Rand. But unfortunately, in my calculations in Pastel Payroll, it is less than what this Road Freight is telling me this employee needs to get for leave. So because I only have that amount, I need to put the difference on the code 3,500, which I just added onto my setup transactions, and that will be then 2,000 minus 1,308 and 10 cents, and that will then be 619. 619.90. So you will see automatically there's no difference in my total gross income because this do not have an effect on my payslip itself, because the council is paying the employees directly. So if the council is less than the R110, you will only process code R513. So let's say, for example, in my case, my R110, which was 1,308, is what I have processed during this year. And the council is coming now and they say, oh, this employee should only have 1,000 Rand leave. Then I will only process R513 and I will only put in the 1,000 Rand. I will not use any other additional transactions. So this is only when the code R110 is less than what Road Freight is telling me. If Road Freight is telling me more than what the R110 is, if R110 is less, then you need to process these two transactions. If R110 is more, then you're only going to use code R513. Okay, so let's just go quickly through that again. So this is when the council pays the employees. If the employees R110, which is the leave that is processed during the year, is less than what Road Freight is giving me, you need to create a new transaction code that does not affect the payslip. So you will add the amount that Road Freight is giving you under R513, and the difference of whatever is less on the R110 will be added on the code that you have created. Okay, and then if the amount that is coming from Road Freight is less than R110, you will only process the code R513. Okay, there we go. So that is, again, if the council is paying the employees. Now they're making it more difficult, or they're making it more exciting, whatever you want to see it as. But then there's also the council pays the company, so the company needs to pay the employees. At least there is not a difference on, you don't have to add an additional code. So I'm just going to delete these so that you can see how it will look like. Please remember, either or, you cannot use code R513 and code 510 at the same time. So 513 will not affect the payslip, as this will only be paid from the council to the employees, whereas code R510 will have an effect on the gross income as well as the but not on the UIF, STL and pay as you earn. Because remember, when you do the R110, it is included in that benefit, which is already a taxable amount. So please just bear that in mind. So on both codes, R513, it will not implicate the gross income, the pay as you earn, UIF or STL. And on the code R510, it will only increase the income. Okay, so now we're going to do the same scenario. We have viewed our employee. We know now that the code R110, the total up until December is 1,308 and 10 cents. It is exactly the same scenario. It just doesn't have that additional code. So what we will do is, because both codes need the payslip to be affected. So that is why we are not creating another code. We only created the other code so that it does not affect the payslip. Okay, so I hope everybody is with me. So now we're going to do exactly the same. Code R110 is less than what the road freight is telling me, but now the council is paying the company and the company needs to pay the employees. Okay, so I'm going to use the code R510 and I'm going to add the road freight amount. So again, we're going to go for 2,000 Rand because road freight told me this employee gets 2,000 Rand paid leave. However, on my calculations in Pastel Payroll, I have added on R110, it's only 1,308. So I'm again just going to add that additional amount on code R520. Again, the reason why we're not creating another code is because this needs to affect the payslip, and that is the reason why we are doing this. Okay, let me just add this. Okay, so we're going to add the code R520 and then we're going to just add the difference, 691.90. Okay, and we're going to save this. So on the leave, okay, again, and then the other part is if road freight is paying me less than what is on my R110, for example, our R110 is 1,308 Rand. If they say, no, this employee should only have 1,000 Rand, then we will only process R510 and we will only input the 1,000 Rand. That is it. So again, let's just go quickly through it again. So if the council pays the employees directly, you will use code R513. If your R110 is less than what road freight is telling you, you will add an additional code and select do not affect the payslip, and the difference will be added onto that transaction code. If the leave is less, than the R110, you will only process R513. In the case where the council is paying the company and the company needs to pay the employee, this needs to have an effect on the gross income. We will use code R510, and if road freight is more than what code R110 is, you will then add the code R520 and add the difference between the road freight leave and the code R110, and that would be the period amount on there. If the leave is less than R110, you will only process code R510. Okay. So that was a mouthful, I must say. I hope we are all together with this. The leave for road freight is quite something that one needs to be just make sure that you're sitting down. But the concept of what is happening on R513 and 510 is the same. It is just one affects the income and one does not affect the income. Both of them do not affect the pay-as-you-earn, SCL and UIF. Please just bear that in mind. The same goes for the bonuses. There's the bonus that will be exactly the same as your leave from the first one, that you will have to add an additional code so that you do not affect the payslip because the council is paying the employees directly. So it will look something like this. So we will first go and we will first view our code R111. Okay, so in my case, my code R111 is 1,665.36. So again, exactly the same concept as how the leave works. So let's go through this. So the council is paying the employees directly. My R11 is less than what they are saying it should be. So I'm going to give this employee 2,000 Rand from the road freight itself. So we're going to go first to setup, transactions, and I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to name it 3501. Please remember, when you create new codes, it must be between 1,000 and 4,999. And I'm going to link it to the transaction template R521. Okay, because this is a bonus, it is irregular taxed, so please make sure that you do see that. And then I'm going to say additional, do not affect. Okay, and I'm going to untick the affect payslip and save. So the council has paid the employees directly. My R111 is less than what the road freight is giving me. So I'm going to go to process, payslips. I'm going to add the code R111. Oh, sorry, not R111, R514, which is your holiday bonus. And I'm going to add the amount that came from the road freight itself. And they also gave me 2,000 Rand bonus. However, this is more than what my R111 is. So I need to add the code that I created, 3501. And I'm going to add the additional, or the difference between what road freight has given me and what code R111 is giving me. So it's 1665.36, and that gives me a total of 334.64. Okay, so again, it is exactly the same as the leave. R514 goes with a transaction code that you have created so that it does not affect the payslip. This is when the amount, the bonus that road freight gave the employee is more than what is on R111. If the bonus is less than what is on R111, you will only process code R14. Okay, so exactly the same. Sorry, if it's less, I do apologize. If it is less, you will use the code R511, but 521 will not be processed. To be very honest, I think it is R514. Sorry. So scratch that. Council pays the employees. R514 is more than what is on R111. So we're going to add the code R514, which with the amount that is given from road freight, and the difference will be on the code that you've created that does not affect the payslip. And then if the code is less, if the bonus is less than that R111, you will just use code R514. Okay, this is when the council pays the employees directly. So now we also have the council pays the company, so it will work exactly the same. You will only use code R511, which is your employer, and you will add the bonus that is from road freight. Again, if the bonus is more, so the bonus is 2,000, I only have 1,665 and 36 cents, then you will use the code R520 as this for 521, as this needs to affect the payslip. So the difference was, I think, 334.64. So this is again when the council pays the company pays the employee, so it will have an effect on the gross income. Again, if the bonus is higher than what R111 is, you will use code R511 and then add the difference from R111, R111, and you will just add it onto the code R521. And then if the code is less, if let's say for example road freight tells you, oh sorry, you only get 1,000 Rand bonus, then you will only use the code R511 if the council pays the company. There we go. I hope everybody is with me. please tell me where you got lost. Please let me know. We have run out of a bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go and view the questions. Please send it through to me so I can attend to it. I will make sure that every question is answered. We are a bit, like I said, over the time, but it's fine. We will just quickly answer those questions and I will get back to you quickly. Just bear with me. I'm still here. So if there's any questions, just please send it through to me. Hi everyone, sorry, I just want to correct myself on something. R511 and R514. This should be the total of R111. So in our case, it was 1665.36. And then the difference will be the same. So again, I do apologize for that. For the bonuses for road freight, it depends on what is on R111 and not what is coming from road freight. So please just bear that in mind. So R511 and R514 needs to be the same as the year-to-date figure of R111. Hey, thank you everybody for joining this live Q&A. There is a few that I was asking about the Security Council. I will try and get this done for next week perhaps, because leave and bonuses and special run doesn't take this long as what the councils does. So I will definitely ask our other authorized person to maybe just do that for you. But thank you so much for joining me.